content is king, bro. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes content isn't always on time or as fast as we would like it to be, bro. But nonetheless, it's got to get out, bro. It's got to get out, bro. So, let's get right into it, man. This is episode. Wait, that's not the intro. That's not the intro, bro. Let's get right into it, man. Welcome back to the Why I'm Geeked show. This is episode 34. Episode 34. And today's episode title, bro. Sometimes I don't have the titles done. You know what I'm saying? But this one, it was kind of hard to even think about because it was just like, I don't even know what the title of this episode. But once I figured it out, it was super easy. So this episode, if you haven't seen it already, bro, it's called Creative Reset, just because that's what I kind of went through over this last weekend, and I feel like amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I did a lot. But without further ado, man, let's get into the news for this week. Because for me, it's not a lot. There's some things that I definitely want to talk about, but you know what I'm saying, this week it wasn't a super heavy news week like these last few weeks have been. So like I said, let's get right into it. Alright, y'all. So first thing I got on my list, man, is something that literally just happened today. Right? Nothing to me really stuck out a lot over the last few weeks. This last week I should say. But the first thing I got on my list, man, is Tim joining Complexity. Now, this is something that he's been hinting at, over the last, I don't know how long. There's always like some, esports talk video or whatever that's talking about like where he might go or what kind of deal he's signed or whatever. But he signed to Complexity. A lot of people thought it was going to be 100 Thieves, including myself, obviously, just because like we know that they would try to go get him. You know what I'm saying? Some people thought it was going to be FaZe, but Complexity clutches up the W. And it makes sense just because, Tim is a huge Cowboys fan, like myself. I'm probably not as like big of a fan of as he is because just like, basketball is my favorite sport. But, I've loved the Cowboys since I was a kid. But, the owner for the Cowboys is an investor or partner in Complexity and everything that they got going on over there. And Complexity is, an OG brand. They rebranded after the deal with the Cowboys, so now it looks a lot like the Cowboys logo. They changed their colors, and some people didn't like that or whatever. But that's besides the point. The point of this subject or this topic or whatever you want to call it, bro, is that Tim joined the org. He's been talking about joining the org for a really long time. He's been solo dolo. I don't know what this really changes for him other than like monetary wise. You know what I'm saying? Just because like he just be grinding, bro. He does his thing. It'll be dope to see like what kind of content comes out of this. I don't really know that many like Complexity creators or streamers that would necessarily like, he would go out and do content with. Like I know some Complexity streamers, but not to the point where it's like they about to go to the compound and do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if that's in the cards. To me, he's probably going to just continue doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But repping the Complexity brand. So that was the cool thing to see. It's always good to see, people win, just because, it sets a precedent, something to be inspired by, and it's just a dope thing to see. The next thing, we got a few drops of games that came out. None of that I have played personally, but I've watched a little bit of it here and there. One being the new Call of Duty Vanguard beta, and the other being Deathloop. So Deathloop is like a game that in the like concept of the game I really like, but I don't really like playing like first person story games, just because like sometimes like it's just like giving me motion sickness and stuff. Like I didn't really like how like I like being able to see my character and see how cool that I look in the thing. But that's a me thing, right? But the concept of the game, you know, looks really cool. And then just to see people actually play it, I've heard good things about it. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't played it for myself, so I won't sit here and tell you like, oh yeah, I need to go get this game because I haven't played it. But I'm hearing good things. You know what I'm saying, from people that I know personally that have played it and people I've just watched stream. But that dropped over the last week, and then also the Vanguard beta. So the Vanguard beta was out on PS4 recently, and now the PC version is out. And from what I've seen, bro, it looks cool for competitive. It doesn't necessarily look like a game that I would want to play. I like more colorful Call of Duty games. I'm excited more so to see how it impacts the Warzone community, along with obviously the competitive side of it, just because like Call of Duty to me used to be at least a esports first type of content thing, but now with Warzone it's just like like they're going to continue to add on and keep adding on. Game mode wise, I don't really care for like the patrol thing too much, but it looks like people are kind of having fun, and at the same time people are like saying like, oh no, I can't play this game never again, but one thing that did happen over the week was there's been hackers cited, bro. So hackers are already in the beta itself. Now the anti-cheat is supposed to be out for this game, maybe not necessarily right now just because this is the beta, but it's not like a good sign to see people already hacking and getting aimbot and all that stuff. Like some of that stuff is understandable because it's a beta, but hopefully this doesn't bleed into or blend into the initial release for the game. But other than that, what I'm saying, that's pretty much it. Something that's about to drop literally tonight. It might be tonight, but it might be tomorrow night as well. Something I'm excited for, and something that I will be playing on stream, and that is Kena. So either like by the time that you guys are seeing this or listening to this, I've already been playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the next game up on stream. If you haven't checked the stream out, twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. But if you guys want to see me play through that game, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited just for a new experience. That's what I've been looking forward to. They had a bit of a pushback. I think it was like a month. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but I think they just be getting scared, honestly. But hopefully Kena is really fun, and everything goes well on launch. But that's pretty much it for the news for this week. It's not really that much, but you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, let's get into the weekly recap. Alright, y'all. So we had some heavy hitters this weekend, bro. And I'm starting with the weekend just because, like, during the week, I kind of was just on my, Harry Potter wave. Like, I was just kind of just, if I wasn't watching that, I was kind of only just watching, like, YouTube videos, honestly. But one thing that, we'll talk about in a little bit is the resurgence of Netflix. So Netflix is bringing back, a lot of good shows. But I'll get to that. Let's stick to some anime stuff. So Tokyo Revengeance finale, bro, was ridiculous. Like, I put out a tweet, bro, literally right after I finished the episode, and I was like, man, I can't believe they ended it like this. Like, youngins really got, like, I've been looking for the blickies, you know what I'm saying, like, this whole time, and I get that at that point they're in middle school, and but they driving motorcycles, like, they doing everything but like what I would think a group of delinquents would be doing, you know what I'm saying. And I don't know how they waited this. I don't even know what I really want to say other than like, if Youngin really get blasted, I don't know how they're going to transition this into the next season. But if Takemichi really goes out sweet like this, like it'll be sad, right? But I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to kill off the main character like that. But to me, it doesn't necessarily make sense why he would go back. You know, like I feel like the smartest play, you know, especially like for the way that they set up the rules for how time travel works, right? The smartest play would be to play out your youth, right? But make sure that like the main outcome of Kasaki being the head of Toman and stuff like that, you know, as long as you make sure that doesn't happen, everything else should be fine, right? But by him continuing to go back and forth, right, things are changing in the future, and he can't predict what happens in the future, you know, because the timelines are going in a straight, not necessarily a straight line, but like they're parallel, right? So every day that passes in the past, it's the same day that day in the future, right? So to me, it wouldn't necessarily make sense to do that. And I get it, right? Like, you might think in just changing this one moment, right, will save everything. But life is a series of moments, bro. You know what I'm saying? So going back and forth really, especially, you know, with this latest episode and what happened, showed me that like they literally have to be thinking like so far ahead, bro. So far ahead, because at this point it's about the possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Initially, like once we found out, like, you know, boom, like once he you know, the knife went through his hand when he was a kid, and he had a scar, right? When he came back to the future, now there's a scar there. You know, initially there wasn't no scar. So once you found out that you can change like something in the past and it will still be true to the future, you should know or have certain precautions set up, right, in case the literal future changes, like to the point where there's no like level of return or whatever, right? Like in this instance, right? Because things change so much in the future this time that you can't really account for. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just they had a whole Judas moment in this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like where Kasaki thought that you know, Takemichi and I'm blanking on my man's name, but the vice captain of Baji's group, his best friend, you know what I'm saying, were the moles or whatever, right? And they had this whole meeting and stuff like that. But it was just crazy to me how much changed, and every time he goes back and forth, he has no idea what's going on. He has no clue, bro. So the only advantage you have at this point in the story is to stay in the past. That's it. Because every time you come back from now on, you're at a disadvantage. You know, because you have no idea what's going on. Because he can come back at any moment, like anything, bro. So it's just crazy. It's crazy how they ended it, right? With Kasaki calling Takemichi his hero, right? Now we don't really know necessarily why. Because he cried too. He cried. Like, we don't know what they went through to make him feel like that. But it tore him up to do this, right? And I can't unsee Lex Luthor when I see this, right? But it's just, the show is so good. But it frustrates me at the same it frustrates me at the same time. Because every episode ends on a cliffhanger. What's going on, team? I know you guys are enjoying the video right now, but I want to let you guys know that not only are we making videos like this every day, Monday through Friday here on YouTube, but we're streaming on Twitch. We're having these conversations. I want to see you guys in the chat so we can talk about all this stuff live, man. We got a dope community over there, and I would love you guys to join. So check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. Link is in the description. Yeah, and I'll see y'all in the chat. Back to the video. It just leaves you speechless, bro. I literally, when I finished the episode, I just was walking around. I was just like, yo, no way. First you gonna blast my mans, and then now you gonna do that to the main character and call him your hero? I'm like, bro, where are we at? Like, what universe is this? You know, and it's like, it's not like it's do-overs. And maybe they test this theory out now, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, this joint is crazy. And then let's switch gears. Let's talk about My Hero, right? So My Hero, they give us this beautiful freaking origin story for Shigaraki. You know what I'm saying? Like, beautiful. Like, nothing beautiful happened, but like, this is the first time that we're really understanding, you know, where Shigaraki comes from, why he is the way that he is, you know. And we got to see his family. We got to see what happened to his family, what he did to his family. We got to see every aspect of his character, you know, throughout these last few episodes. And it really showed us that, like, he is the next, like, he's one of them ones, bro. He's one of them ones. Because not only did he level up and surpass his limits in his fight against the bigger bias stress monster, you know, but he did that while also inspiring him to give him his whole army. The League of Villains was like 8 people, and now they have a whole army of citizens and just regular people to use at their own disposal. Like, who else but Shigaraki is doing that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, through his actions. And now, one thing about this show that still, like, the little loopholes that still get me is the level of injury. Right? This man Shigaraki's whole foot was backwards, you know? And they even pointed it out in the show, like, for him to even make a recovery from something like this without any special healing abilities or anything like that, like, it's gonna be different, bro. It's gonna be different because Deku has an excuse. Deku has nurses that actually heal you, right? But their nurse can still only do so much. So once he found that out, he had to change the way that he even fights, right? But I get that, you know, Shigaraki has the mad scientist or whatever that works on the Nomus, who's now going to give him this secret bit of information, or just, like, you know, more access to whatever that they were talking about. How, like, he's going to end up being even stronger, because it's like his physical abilities don't make sense to, like, you know, how he was moving to what his quirk is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this just might be an anime thing where Yanks can move, like, super fast and just be, like, moving, like, you know, their adrenaline and just not caring, and, you know, just be like, I gotta do this, so I'm gonna do it type of beat. But, like, this was different, bro. This was literally different. I was so pleased by this episode that, you know, I could see myself even going back and watching it, like, all the way through again, because I think this was the finale for this season. I'm pretty sure it was the finale. Like, that's crazy. So this war between the villains and the heroes is really about to happen. At first, it looked like it was going to be a 3-sided war, but now it's 2. And what we had thought initially, where the villains were, undermanned, understaffed, but they had these nomus and stuff. Now not only do they have that, but now they have a whole army of people that have been training for so long to master their quirks and use them to the highest ability, but uses the strength of numbers to fight. Like he's just gonna throw him to the wind, bruh. You know what I'm saying? He has like 10 lieutenants now. Like Shigaraki has arrived, bro. Shigaraki has arrived, and I really feel like youngins need to recognize that, because at first, him being the successor of All For One really had me thinking like it was only because of the nature of his quirk, but he's changed people's hearts. That's different. You can't teach that, bro. And for All For One to see that potential in him, for All For One to give him his last name, that's the next level manipulation, bro. That's next level. So how they do this and get him out of prison and fight up against the heroes, and how 1 week or 1 month of training, with Endeavor, or however long it was, I forgot the amount of time. They have allotted, I think it's like 6 months before the war. A lot of stuff gonna have to happen. A lot of people gonna have to step up. Because they're gonna be looking like a lot of fodder out there. And that's no good. Like, that's a sad thing to see. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little anime take for this week, bro. Just those 2 shows. I didn't really get into anything else. I didn't start anything else. I didn't finish anything else. But that's how I'm feeling at the moment. Now, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit of HBO Max. So, Sweet Life, I did a whole talk on it this week after I watched the finale or reunion episode, whatever you want to call it. I don't really watch reality TV like that. So, whatever they call it whenever they, come back at the end of the season to have discussion about it. This was like true storytelling at its finest. Like, whoever is the executive producer for the show did an amazing job, bro. Or just like, was able to gather the storylines and put them together the way that they did, because everything that the cast was saying, we all felt it, like, while we were watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for some people it was worse than others, like, because of the way they were portrayed versus how they really are. And it was really, refreshing to see that, because that was my whole point about like why I liked the show, was because nobody was really like super on like that already, or was related to somebody that was super on. Like, some people, like, they didn't even really get into their full background or full stories in this season. One being what's his name? I forgot his name, but one of the main people in the cast, Kofi, that's his name, Kofi. His whole role in this season was just his reaction, his expressions, to everything that was happening around him. Right? He didn't really get no screen time as far as like a storyline, like the Tylins of the world and the Jordans and of the world and stuff like that. But seeing that, and then also seeing how people that were super involved in this season was really amazing, bro, because we really got a peek inside like what their life was like, because obviously everything's personified because of the show, or hyperbolized, I don't know the word, but it's exaggerated for the sake of the show in some aspects. But when it comes to them talking that real talk, they still do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say what they mean, and I can appreciate where a lot of them are coming from. I think especially when it comes to like dating and stuff like that, like, they brought up some major stuff that really be like not necessarily holding us back, but are like very like key talking points and just like Twitter combos. Like they brought up a lot of stuff that I was just like, bro, like that's crazy, right? And it made them look a certain way throughout it, but you know when it was brought up during the little finale episode, like I was like, dang, I do remember that. Like that was sick. And I was like, bro, the reactions that people are getting, like people are even good and bad, like people really mess with this show. And for Issa Rae to, have another like banger like this, it's like everything she touched her in the gold, bro. Everything she touched her in the gold. I think the moderator did really good. I forgot her name. Like I don't think I know her face, but I never really knew her name like that. She's a host on like Catfish as well. But I forgot her name, bro. I'm sorry. But the Sweet Life reunion, bro, was really like they got into some of the conversations that I wanted them to get into. Like one being like the whole accountability dilemma, and like checking your friends and what that looks like for each person, and then also like like just communication. I feel like that's like how you talk to people was the main takeaway for me from that whole thing, bro, because to me a lot of the issues come from communication, and not necessarily like what people are saying, but it's just like how they say it and the words that they use. Like if they really a friend, you don't talk to them any type of way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or at least like if you really know them like that, like you don't really like you should, like at least that's how I feel, right? And when you have an issue with somebody, when it just comes a screaming match, bro, that don't really solve nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like being able to like hear the apology, you don't necessarily have to accept it, but you know what I'm saying, respect where they coming from to even apologize, like, because they don't even have to do that, bro, if they don't really feel like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like a lot of stuff, like even if it's warranted, even if it's not, you know what I'm saying, like I feel like it really a lot of times comes down to how you talk to people, and yeah, that's my little recap for that job. But that joint is sweet. I'm excited to see if there's going to be a season 2. I hope that there is. I can't say that everybody that we saw in this season will be returning just because of like how it ended. You know what I'm saying? But Issa Rae got another dub, you know what I'm saying, to add to the collection. The next thing I got on here is Titans, bro. Because Titans had a new episode this week. And I really feel this season like Dick Grayson is the worst character, right? Last season it was Jason, but this season it's definitely Dick, because for me, I feel like obviously it's like his heart's in the right place for a lot of things, but I feel like he bases too many decisions on what Batman would do. Then he kind of does the opposite, even when that's not even the right decision. Like the real thing that he needed to do was ask for help, bro. Like if he had help, if he like accepted real help, right? Because right now at this point, anytime he asks for help for anything, like that person is kind of just being dragged along on the Dick Grayson parade. Like he's not really, looking at people as equals. Like he's willing to have people like help him, right? But only from like an arm's length away. I feel like instead of like he's still giving people orders and stuff like that, and that comes with being a leader, right? But when you're constantly getting put on your butt when you're constantly losing and can't seem to get the right solution where everybody wins in a sense, it's like you gotta take a step back and look at the situation, bro. Because the thing that you could be doing, to quote unquote protect everybody could be what ends up killing them. You know what I'm saying? Take for instance Jason, bro. Now, I don't feel like Dick is the reason why Jason became Red Hood, but he definitely had a part in it. But the main thing and the main thing, at least in my opinion, that Jason really wanted was acceptance of, like, his true self, right? Like, Batman taught them to never, like, to use fear, right? But never be scared. And the trauma that Jason went through after falling through that building, he never really got over. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody can just shut off that part of himself and do the job. Like, and that's part of, like, how Jason's origin story goes anyway, as a part of, like, how he becomes a Red Hood. But it's like, how can I put this? It's like how Gar looks at everybody versus how, or Garth looks at everybody versus how Nightwing or Dick looks at everybody is completely different. Like, when I see Beast Boy trying to help Jason, like, I can really feel like he really wants to help Jason, the person. You know what I'm saying? But Dick Grayson just wants to stop Red Hood. Like, Jason's not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? And because they just shut their emotions off and stuff, like, I feel like the only person Dick Grayson is really ever really real with is Barbara Gordon. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the only person. And maybe Raven. But Raven has to go in his mind to get it out of him because he's just, like, that messed up in the brain. So to see how Dick Grayson is handling not only Jason but Tim freaking Drake, it's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating, but I love the season. I love this episode. I love how the story is going so far. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just giving, like, it's a lot of canon stuff, but it's also giving nuance to, like, how people really are and how people really react to stuff, and I can really appreciate that. The last part of the recap that I want to talk about, it's not necessarily like a show or a movie itself, but it's about Netflix. So Netflix is finally, I won't say it's back, right? It's not like number one anymore, right? But I feel like they're getting back in their groove now. I don't know if it was like due to COVID or what, but or we just had to wait for our shows to come back. But not only are our shows coming back, like new seasons of our favorite shows coming back recently, but new shows are coming out, and also like new whole franchises, I guess you could say, right? But I don't know, bro. It for me, and maybe that's just like how I look at like the tiers of streaming services. But Netflix, it hasn't really been in my rotation like that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it usually just takes one. But a lot of our favorite shows ended or are no longer on there. Like for me, the main thing I watched on Netflix was The Office, right? And The Office is no longer on Netflix. So in combination of that and then these other streaming platforms having better shows and movies, I just haven't really gotten back to it. But now they got a lot of stuff that got people talking, man. And I'm gonna look at it right now. So You is back. You know what I'm saying? The Startup, I still haven't finished that, but that's a really good show so far. They got Money Heist has a new season at this point. Lucifer has a new season. Clickbait and Manifest and The Outer Banks are 3 shows that people are talking about, bro, or have been talking about, like watching for the longest time. Clickbait is top 10 right now, but there's that, and then there's I guess you could call Staple Season because it's a third season, but like Sex Education had a new series or a new season. You know what I'm saying? That was really good. But like, there's just a lot more stuff out now, and it's just like, bro, when did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like what happened like in that time. And I guess you can just they had a pandemic P moment, right? Where it just was like, bro, why am I even paying for Netflix at this point? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, Netflix is back, and I'm excited about it. But that's pretty much it for the weekly recap, bro. Let's get into the filler arc of this week, which the title is really based on. But what I'm saying, like, there's still like a deeper level of the conversation I want to get to. But usually the filler arc is something I don't really have a lot to say about, just because it's literally the filler arc. But this week, I'm saying, I'm super excited about it. So let's get right into it. Alright, y'all. So the title of this episode was Creative Reset, right? And the reason why it's a title is because that's literally what happened over the weekend, right? So over the past week, I kind of just like been trying to get caught up with a whole bunch of stuff since I went on vacation, and that kind of threw me off and stuff like that. But I had a lot of stuff that I was trying to do, right? And then September happens. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, we literally have, like, I think we hit like 2 or 3 emo goals, and I had to, I got a chance to design some new emails, which led me to even kind of just like redesigning all my emails, right? So I got in a real groove that I haven't really been in for a little while. A lot of stuff that I've been working on has been more on the technical side, and that's why you guys seen a lot of the stream upgrades over the last few weeks and stuff like that, because I just been grinding that. But I haven't really gotten my creative bag in like a artistic standpoint in a while, and I was able to do that starting with the emotes, and then also I designed some new merch that's going to be dropping soon, and just have like a whole new approach to how I want to not only just do that, but just my whole outlook on the whole game. Because for a long time, at least speaking like branding wise, as far as like my merch and stuff, it's been more like brand based. You know what I'm saying? Like, just straight up like first thing first, like I gotta get this logo right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing I'm focusing on. And now I get to the fun part. You know what I'm saying? That's what coming up with art. That's what coming up with new designs, and just like really just expanding my style. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finding out like the more and more I go. But I think it's important to do that, just because like I forgot. Not that I forgot. I knew that it was going to be a good weekend, because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a little while. But like, it's good to reset and just start like from where everything started from, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was able to just sit back, draw. You know what I'm saying? Come up with designs, watch some shows, watch some movies. Like I said, like I went through Harry Potter. Like, I'm on the last movie now. You know what I'm saying? I watched the whole season on Netflix or something. Like, I haven't done that in like a really long time. And it was just a fun thing to do. But I think like my favorite piece that, well, I can't even say it's my favorite piece, but like the thing I'm most proud of is something that I started during the week, and that was Twitter posts. So, I started, I've been trying to figure out like what's the best content to post to Twitter, and like, what really works. And I've been trying to figure that out for the longest time, bro. And I thought of, after seeing all them trailers, like, I was like, man, I should start doing polls, right? So I did a poll, and got the results from the polls, and I was like, and I just reposted, retweeted it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But then I was like, I'm like, yo, people are actually doing graphics for polls. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, I could do that too. And that's where it really started, because I was starting at like Wednesday, I think. And now I'm excited because not that my whole Twitter feed is going to be consistent of polls, but that's another way to interact with you guys and just get different opinions and more perspectives on it. Because that's just something else I can talk about. So I had to get it set up to do that. And it just like, it also had me reflecting on like, because the first poll, it got a little bit of reactions, you know what I'm saying? But the second poll that I did, got more reactions. And that got me excited because I'm like, like, I just want to continue the conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole goal with all the content I make, is to, to continue the conversation, have a conversation, and get, different perspectives on the things that we all love. And I was like, this is really cool. And it brought me back to like how, like, not to say how things were, like they were just like, better days or anything, but like my first Twitter that I had, like just like my first Twitter, it might not be my first Twitter either, because I restart stuff a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that so much anymore now. I just kind of continue to build on what I've already done. But 2020, I lost my first Twitter, and I almost had like 1,000 followers on there, and that's not even that crazy, right? But that was like my biggest platform at the time, and I lost it because of copyright issues. And I've had some of my biggest successes on Twitter, from artists and athletes retweeting their mixtapes and stuff like that, to like the mixtapes I made on 2K, right? Them seeing that and then just going out to the world, and it was just like a crazy experience, like, what I'm saying, when those things were happening. And that's like, a whole part of my content journey or whatever. That's like the first episode of this podcast that y'all can go back and listen to. I won't get too much into it now, but like seeing that and just seeing like, just a little bit of progression that, doing polls it's like content that, can't be taken away because of DMCA reasons. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh my gosh, like I can just do this and be like lit. Like, not because I just thinking like I'm about to blow up because I'm doing Twitter polls, but it's just like, man, I finally found something else that works. And that was just like a really huge relief, bro. It's a really huge relief. So I'm excited for, all the content that we're doing. I'm excited to just get back into just, being an artist again. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shirts that I'm making, like, bro, the new joint I got, bro, it's only hard. Like, it's not hard, it's hard. It's hard, bro. And I'm just like, bro, this is just the first one. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally just the first one, bro. So imagine what the fifth one gonna look like. Imagine what the 10th one gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? Because once I get everything squared away, like, then we can get to the fun part. You know what I'm saying? And start marketing stuff and going crazy. But yeah, man, it was a good reset. Because I still got a lot done. Like, I got a lot of emails done. I got the newest one that if we hit the next goal, which is 50 sub points, that would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? But, like, whenever we reach that, then I could do another one. And it's just little things like that you don't necessarily know you need until you do it. You know what I'm saying? I really needed that reset. So I don't know what that looks like in y'all life, but just try it out. See what you think, will help, and let me know, how it goes. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That creative spark also led me to, like, wanting to do something with the podcast stuff. So there might be some changes and stuff. I just wanted to, like, this is a cool start. We have evolved on what we're doing right now, and I think we're gonna continue to do that. But I'm in a groove right now, so but y'all will see that if it happens, because it might not happen, but if it happens, y'all see it. But I appreciate y'all nonetheless for tuning in. Even if you got to this point in the thing, it's almost 45, 48 minutes in or something like that. So I've been talking for a while. But I appreciate y'all for the third time. That's the third time I said that, because I really do, bro. I really do. The love that we done got over the last week has been crazy, bro. Like, so many So many stuff I ain't never seen before. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, the podcast. Next one is Trade 5, bro. Trade 5, Katie, y'all know the vibes, bro. I'm gonna head up out of here. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening to this on audio platforms, hit the like, subscribe, leave a rating, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Y'all be easy. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep growing. See goes be boy G. I'm gone. Peace.
Dang, I know they like that video, bro. That's crazy. I can't wait to see the comment. Whoa, what are you still doing here? Well, since you're here, you might as well hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because if you didn't, what are we really here for? If you're still here at this point, you probably still want to know and talk more about it. So come through on the Twitch stream, man. Twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. I want to see you in the chat. Let me know you came from YouTube and we could talk about today's video. Discuss anime, movies, films. Y'all already know what it is, bro. Wait, that's still not it? Oh, I know what it is. You was wondering about this drip right here. Well, you can check that out on IG, Growth Apparel. That's Growth Apparel, GRWTH. It's on the screen right now. So go copy you a tee, man. I'm gonna see y'all in chat. I'm gonna see y'all in these comments. I appreciate y'all once again. Y'all already know I rocks with you, bro. I'm out of here. You still here? Ah, y'all gang.